Is there any reason why she might think that you're something more than a coach to her?
Uncle, maybe.
Just an uncle? Okay.
They called me 10 times about trouble with boys. I don't want to see them get taken advantage of. No sexual assault.
Okay.
Hug and kiss on the cheek like I kiss all of them on the cheek.
This is James Ford, a high school teacher. Right now, he's sitting across from a detective, trying to talk his way out of a situation that should never have happened. He's calmly insisting that his relationship with his 16-year-old student was completely harmless. But he had no idea that the detective is sitting on a piece of disturbing evidence he hasn't even imagined yet. And in less than an hour, his story will start falling apart piece by piece.
So talking about, wanting to taste her and...
Well, that was a song verse.
At that time in that incident, okay. Did she perform oral sex on you?
She tried. She almost did.
She almost did? So you're going to be charged with unlawful sexual activity with a minor, okay? You're going to be charged with the authoritative figure because you were in an authoritative figure role as a coach at the school.
On Friday, January the 17th, 2025, James Ford Edward III was located at a residence in Marion Oaks, where Ocala police officers took him into custody and transported him to the Ocala Police Department for questioning. His life was about to take a drastic turn. The case had started to unravel days earlier when a report reached the school resource officer at Westport High School about an alleged inappropriate relationship. Once notified, Marion County Public Schools quickly terminated his supplemental coaching role on Thursday, January the 16th, 2025, and the district made it clear he was no longer employed and permanently banned from all campus grounds. But all this was nothing compared to the series of unfortunate chains of events and disturbing clandestine details that are going to come to light during the course of his interrogation.
You understand each of these rights I've read to you?
I do.
Mr. Ford, you still okay speaking with me? Okay. All right, so why do you think you're here today?
My relationship with some of the girls.
Okay, what does that look like?
From the outside, you would think it's weird something going on, but I've been a coach for 5 years, and it's like they can confide in me as well as the boys.
Okay.
Like, excuse me, like it looks weird, but like they come to me with problems and just confide, and because I'm easy to talk to, and
Sure.
the boys do it too, and I'm there for them basically.
How long have you been coaching out there?
This will be my 5th year.
5th year? Okay, so you've been out there for a long time. Seen a lot of kids coming and going.
Yes.
Okay. And do you do that full time or do you do something else?
No, I work for the city of Ocala. I drive garbage trucks.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
5 years, 5 years.
Okay, so about the same. Where are you from? You born and raised here? Oh, okay, a little bit more south, huh? Which one do you like better?
What you mean, living wise?
Yeah.
Here, it's more slower and yeah.
Not as hustle bustle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. When did you come up here to Marion?
I finished college. I'm gonna say 06.
06.
Maybe 06.
Okay. And I just want to verify. I know they made contact with you at your house, correct? My other detectives.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And then, what is a good phone number for you? And is that a home phone or cell phone? Okay. Okay, so I know you said you believed you were here because of some inappropriate, possibly people think is inappropriate with the girls. Is there any girls in particular?
Yes, well, am I allowed to say the name? Because I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's...
Okay.
And maybe...
Okay. And then are these girls, do they... How do you, I mean, because I know you said football. Do you guys have like a football? Like a flag football?
We have a girls flag football team.
Okay.
One of the girls, she also yeah, so it's like, it's just, I've been a father for life. I'm really close to her. She comes all the time to appreciate what me and some other coaches have done for her, been there, stuff, to be in that role. And like our previous head coach did ask, do we have to worry about that? And the other coach was like, nah. Father figure to her, and it's just like outside looking in, you would think, because it's weird, because that's not my child. I have a son that goes.
Okay.
And even the kids, some of the kids say that's Coach. So it's like that.
And that's referring to. Okay. And how about?
Problems, and she just been basketball. So like she calls me Unc, and all as well as stuff and call me.
Okay.
And like when they have problems, they'll come to me. I try to still on the right path. And I talk to them and give it to them like they're all my kids.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because it's tough out here.
Yeah, and I don't want to sugarcoat nothing to be soft on them because I don't want to see them get taken advantage of. And
right.
so we do kind of talk, and so if some kids do hear us talk, it's kind of how I would talk to my own kids.
Okay. And then how about?
Same with Aunt, that's same as that.
Same. Okay. Just kind of that father figure.
Well, no, her dad's in our life. I'm just
okay.
like a who she could come in.
Okay.
Like a,
and then have these girls been at the school and then since you've been there, or did they come later on? What did that look like? Like, have you had interaction with them for 4 years, or?
I met them at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just at the actual school itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the boys are the same. Like I have one player, he says I'm more of a dad than him and his own dad.
Okay.
And so it's just like I'm mentoring basically. Well, I thought I was doing it right, but.
Yeah.
Ford, who was 43 at the time, just revealed how he positioned himself as a trusted support system for his trainee. Although he does not know it yet, this disturbingly thoughtful move looks very calculated. But the detective soon steps in with direct interview tactics. What Ford does not know at this moment is that the detective is well armed with school resource reports and digital forensics, and was very much aware that he was carrying a lot more baggage than he could keep hidden.
I know, like, when you have teams and stuff, you have to keep in contact with your players and things like that. Do you communicate with these girls at all on, like a cell phone, or is it on an app, or?
Nah, they'll text me, Coach Ford, I need, or like their problems, or can I talk to them about this? Can I help them out with this or this and that, or stuff like that.
Okay, and is that on your cell phone? Okay, so you have the team's contact numbers, they have yours,
yeah.
And it's just general conversation back and forth. Okay. At any point in time, has there ever been, and it's like, we know these, girls these days, is there any time when any of this conversation maybe went a little differently than it should, or something that might not be
no, ma'am, but
appropriate?
If you look at it and don't know the ends of it, you would think that they'll come hug me and be up under me and stuff like that. So it looks weird because the trainer said something, but it's not like that.
Okay. And then how about on the text? Anything on that end that you've had to maybe shut down, or
no,
something? Nothing's popped up on their end or on your end?
No.
Okay. All right. So when would you say you started communicating with any of these girls over text, just about sports or whatever?
Okay. With the football team, we have everyone's number. So we have group text, and I have to text, hey, I need you to do this, ask what numbers they want, or, stuff like that.
Right.
And basically that's how it was. And then with the girls, I coach flag football, the girls.
Okay.
It's basically the girls basketball team, which most of them have my number also.
Okay.
And like they'll text me, sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good.
Text me like, Coach Ford, when flag starts, so I text them the schedule, practice starts this day, or whatever like that.
Okay. And I know you said you felt like people at school maybe felt a different way. When did you get knowledge that something was maybe being said?
Well, last year coach asked, did you have to worry about, and the coach said, no, it's fine.
Okay.
And the trainer, she was kind of skeptical too, but.
Which coach and which trainer are we talking about?
Is the trainer.
Okay.
And Coach, he's no longer there. He's at another school now.
Oh, he left. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was last year.
Yes.
Now, what about this week? What happened this week?
I don't know. I'm there. They come. They hug me. Like normal, and that's it.
When did you find out something was going on this week?
I called Tuesday.
Tuesday? Okay. Was that from
The new head coach.
the head coach? Okay. And how did that conversation
He
go?
just said, hey, they're doing an investigation with you and some of the girls. I'm like, what you mean? Like, I've been like this with, and just said they're doing an investigation.
Okay.
Like, something was said, somebody went back and said, they're not comfortable around me from something being said, but how we talk to them is like we're talking to our own kids. So I don't know if another student probably heard it, thought it was inappropriate, and it wasn't comfortable, or one of the boys maybe like the girls and so. I mean, I don't know.
Not sure. So I want to talk a little bit about, okay, so dealing with her. Is there any reason why she might think that you're something more than a coach to her?
An uncle maybe.
Just an uncle? Okay. And when you say uncle, what does that
Like-
look like for her? Like, how do you feel like an uncle, or how would she feel like you're an uncle?
Like she'll hug me, come from the side, hug me, and like if she have problems with boys or whatever, because
Okay.
they've called me plenty of times about trouble with boys. I don't want to see them get taken advantage of,
Sure.
or just out doing stuff. It is what it is, and you know,
Right.
just getting taken advantage of,
Okay.
basically.
Okay. Has there ever been anything on your end that would lead to believe that you're acting as something other than a family member or a mentor, as you describe yourself?
Like for Christmas, I bought them all Christmas.
Okay.
Asked them what they wanted. Like I bought them what I didn't get them everything on the list what they wanted, but
Who's okay?
I went, you know, like stuff like that.
Okay.
By admitting that he is close to his trainee, Ford had unwittingly put his neck in the noose because the detective is aware of facts that will destabilize his carefully crafted story.
And have you ever sent any of them money? I know you
Well,
said you bought gifts and
Oh
things.
yes, I mean
about,
they're called.
how about money wise?
Yes, if they can borrow like half $10 for food, $12 for this, or $50 for this, or you know, for food basically.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, I got you, I'll feed you, because that's what we do. I feed. I don't have no problem with feeding. I don't want you hungry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And how would that look? Like, did you give them cash, or
No,
was it
cash
through
app.
like Cash App?
Yeah,
Okay.
I really have cash on me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you can.
Yeah, it's,
I don't even know the last time I even had cash on me. Okay. So like I said, I wanted to talk a little bit about, okay, because there's just some concerns that people have, okay?
I can see why.
Okay. And that's what I was just kind of trying to get from you. Why so much with more than
'Cause
anyone else? Why people
like-
be concerned?
Well, she the one, like if I'm there, she'll come up and hug and stay around. I don't see I go to the weight room.
Okay.
But yeah, she always comes up, hugs me, asks how I'm doing, we talk whatever, and same as if they're working out or whatever, she's gonna stop what she's doing, come hug me, and ask how I'm doing. And I haven't seen her in a while, because she was going through. She was like,
Okay.
yeah,
So it's been a minute.
like that was like my second daughter. Really, I really took up under my wing.
Okay. And with, has there ever been anything that someone would consider inappropriate that's happened
Maybe how we
between
hug and how
you
we-
and her?
Maybe how like we hug, like she'll hug, and I guess like from
Any type of kissing or anything
No.
like that someone might see? Okay.
I guess I'll be someone. I guess basically someone heard it.
Okay.
The detective's very direct approach seems to have accomplished more in less than the anticipated time. The skeletons he thinks he has buried are now out there in the open.
I appreciate you speaking with me,
Oh yes.
right? And when I talk with people, I always, I want to be honest because I'm always looking for honesty, right? And I know right now you're not quite being 100% honest with
Right,
me.
I mean-
Talk to me. We're here for a reason.
I know.
We're both adults.
Like we never. I mean, I've never done nothing with it.
Okay. No, when you say nothing, what's that mean?
No sexual stuff whatsoever.
Okay.
Hug and kiss on the cheek like I kiss all of them on the cheek. Like, hug. You all right? You good? That's that.
Okay. So you don't think there's going to be anything or evidence of anything any different?
As far as I mean, we probably. Me and probably take a little more. She'll ask how I'm doing, ask how she's doing, ask like I ask all of them. Yeah, you good? I check on them
Okay.
or whatever.
Do you ever let anyone else use your cell phone?
Oh yeah, I let kids have my phone all the time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, and that's what I want to talk a little bit about.
Yes,
Okay.
kids have my phone all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Is your phone password protected?
It is, but once I get there, I open it, and because Coach Ford, I use your phone, so I use
Okay.
my phone. And,
What is the passcode to your phone? That was fast.
yeah, my birthday.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm not super great with numbers.
It's okay.
Okay. So, like when you're in school, you say you unlock your phone and you'll hand it to the kids to
Yeah,
use. Okay. Is there any reason why maybe they might pretend to be you?
It's a few boys like the kid, and like they mentioned, like, hey, she always why do all the girls always run Coach Ford?
Yeah. Do any of these kids ever take your phone home at
No,
nighttime?
no.
Okay. So that would be like a school hour, typical day text. Okay. So there's text messages at night. between you?
Yes, ma'am. We text. Like, I'll text all the girls.
Okay. We have to talk about that.
Okay, that's fine.
That's why we're here.
Okay.
I'm not trying to trip you up. None of that. Okay.
I'm completely honest with you.
And I think you know where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I just want to know how did we get there?
That I don't know.
Because she's a child.
Like,
right?
I'm being too friendly with them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say it. Like, I help with. I help them pay for. I shouldn't be doing. Like, I'm just too nice. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
You put yourself in
Yes.
predicaments, and that's kind of
Well,
weird.
man,
You've gotten yourself into a predicament.
Yes, and I've never been in no trouble whatsoever with my kids when I was there.
Because I have all of the text
That's fine.
messages between you and Kay starting from February of last year.
Okay.
You and I both know what's in those.
So, yes, stuff. Yeah, like I send her songs and verses and
Okay.
yeah.
And what else?
Just I've never seen no pictures. Well, I mean, no,
Well, you have.
well, like my birthday stuff and like I sent all the
Sure.
kids stuff
Yeah.
like that, but nothing explicit.
Okay.
So, excuse me. Yeah.
Okay. Take your time. If you need to take a drink, you can.
Oh, I'm good, right.
Okay. What about the explicit conversations between?
Yeah.
They're not all song
What's that,
verses. Listen, I know some songs. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're not all song verses,
Yes.
are they?
Not all of them.
Okay. So talking about, wanting to taste her and
Well, that was a song verse. So
okay.
and she replied with the no, but I can. Yeah, I just laughing. But yes, I shouldn't have said some of the stuff I was saying. Like even at the school, I shouldn't be saying some of the stuff I be saying because I'm just so comfortable around her
Yeah.
and just.
And what about, because I think you've developed some feelings for her. What it looks like
It's like I said from outside
in
in.
the text. You're going to take care of her, she's your baby girl.
Oh, yeah, I call all of my baby girls. Like my baby girl. That was my baby girl. It's just something I say.
Okay.
The interrogation takes a different turn. Ford tried to cover his tracks as much as possible, and to be honest, is doing a terrible job at it because the detective is yet to lay all her cards on the table.
I wanted to talk to you about an incident that occurred at outside of the wall. You know what I'm talking about? What can you tell me about that?
She told me where she was. I went out and she was okay.
Okay.
It was her birthday.
Right. Then who is? Okay. So go ahead.
I'm sorry,
No, I was just clarifying that.
And she was talking about all the problems, and I said, "You good? Okay?" And whatever. We talked for a little bit, and she left. Then when she got home, I said, "Are you good? You okay? If you want to finish this tomorrow?" She said, "No."
Okay. So during that text message, can you take yourself back to that text message to where you eventually y'all met up? You ended up driving to the after telling her to go to the.
So she told. Well, I think yeah.
Okay. So I think you were at the Wawa, and then she was somewhere else. So y'all probably just left school or something like that. Again, maybe
No, it was a birthday dinner.
a birthday dinner. Okay. So where was she at the? Like
She was parked.
once y'all met.
Oh, she was parked by the sign.
Okay. Did she stay in her car or
No,
something
we got out and
different? Okay. Did she get into your truck?
Well, no, she opened the door and there, like, opened the door
Okay.
and sat in like this. Got out, came around, talked, gave her a hug, and
Okay. Mister. I'm asking you.
I'll be honest. I mean, we didn't do anything.
Did she offer to do something to you?
She didn't. Not until that saying it, but she didn't just come out and say whatever. But you can tell,
Okay.
like, you know, read between the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, at that time in that incident, okay, did she perform oral on you?
She tried. She almost did.
She almost did. What does that look like? Walk me through
She.
that.
No.
Okay. So, did the act begin and then it was
Yeah, because I'm like, child.
stop it?
Yes.
And would you say that's the only conduct that
Yes.
you had with her?
Yes.
Okay. And then, I know we had talked a little bit before about was there some kissing and stuff, maybe one time like in the locker room?
No.
Something happened with?
Locker room. We're never alone with those girls in the locker room. So.
Okay.
There's always a coach there with. There's always somebody there.
Ford now knows that he is cornered. The detective knew way more than she was letting on, and was using the facts at her disposal one time to shatter his well-crafted wall of lies. Regardless, he has so much to lose, and now he needs to find a lifeline, something to throw the interrogation off track, or at least mitigate the consequences of his evil affair.
I'm gonna step out for just a second. Do you need anything right now? You sure? Okay. Go ahead. Talk to me.
How can I? Well, I know what this is going with. Am I going to get booked for?
You are going to be placed under arrest.
And this is going to for.
It's going to be a offense with involving a minor.
So I have to register and all that now.
But it's going to depend on where it all goes.
Now,
but potentially, yes, sir. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, that's fine. When I lose my job, like I'm going to be booked all weekend, right?
You'll go in, you'll have a no bond because it's a no bond initially. But when you see the judge in the morning at first appearance, the judge will give you a bond at that time.
Okay.
And then if you're able to get a bondsman or whatever and post that bond and get out, then you'll just have to attend your court dates. And
which when I get out, which will, if I could, it might be tomorrow night.
Sure. Yeah. It just depends how quick. I would say once you get a first appearance and you get on the phone, start calling the bondsman, or I don't know if you have.
Well, no, my mother. Well, yeah, she will. Now, will y'all release all this information to her, or is something I would tell her?
I think you should tell her.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell your mom. You're an adult.
Yeah.
So you're you got it. Your business is your business,
yes.
Right? It's not for me to tell,
Girls getting any kind of trouble in any kind of way.
What do you think they should get in trouble for? Talk to me about that.
Basically being inappropriate with me.
Okay.
And being too close.
No, you're a dad, right?
That's the bad thing.
You're a dad.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. You said you have a son, and he's same age? So let's role reverse.
I would,
okay?
Yes.
I just want you to kind of see it from a different point of view. Would you want your son? Do you think that your son should be held accountable for behaviors when there's an adult that clearly had a lapse of judgment as an adult, and in my eyes, took advantage of a child?
I see what you're saying.
Right? So would it be fair for them to get into trouble?
I mean, no, not really.
Or should have Mr. said, this isn't right.
This isn't right.
I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Right? You're a mentor. You told me you're a mentor for kids.
Yep.
That's why I'm just wondering what happened. I mean, nice young man. You got a good job.
And that's what I'm afraid of losing.
There's a lot of women out here.
Yeah, but that's what I'm afraid of losing everything.
Yeah.
Which is could possibly be what might happen.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not a good situation to be in.
Yeah, with kids.
Yeah.
And I've been coaching it just for years.
Yeah. So I know we have. I'm going to end up writing a search warrant on your cell phone. Okay. Am I going to find anything else with other juveniles, minors?
No.
Nothing else like that is going to be anywhere?
I can go ahead and search it now. No.
Okay. All right. So you want to give consent to search your phone?
My consent isn't telling you to, but if not, you have her.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to sign a consent form, we'll get you signed the consent form, and we can do that. If not, we just write a search warrant on it and go from there.
And that'll take how long?
It depends. It depends on how much data is on your phone. Right now, it'll be seized as evidence anyway.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's
question.
no.
So if I get found out tomorrow, I'm not able to take my phone.
No, sir. No.
Now, how would? Yeah, I kind of. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and we'll do this. I'll just write a search warrant on it. That way, it's easier. It's we'll get it knocked out that way, because it will be held pending the case because it's evidentiary, so we can't get rid of it. Because like I said, those text messages obviously were coming from your cell phone. Yeah, from you to her. So that's just part of the case, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Okay.
The detective eventually left him alone in the interrogation room, and the answers he has given made one thing clear. He has crossed the Rubicon, and he will never be able to turn back the hands of time. But he thinks that the interrogation is over, or at least most of it. But the detective has one last card to lay on the table, and it's something that's going to need a god-level genius to evade.
So I'm honest with you, and I want you to be honest with me. You know where we're at, and unfortunately, this is
Where is that?
where it's at. Yeah. So hopefully, you know.
Now I have a question. Like,
Yeah.
I want to get booked. Now I'm going to register. Well, I'm having to register as a.
So that would be after, like, if there's any type of conviction or something like
After my
that.
court date.
Could it potentially? Well, that would be like at the end when it's
Which means
over.
at the end, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So when the case commences, so when the case
When it's
ends,
over.
when it's over. So whether the state decides to, you know, move forward, file the charges, depending on if they offer you a plea deal, if you decide you want to have your day in trial, you take it to trial.
Oh.
At
Like
the
I see
very
on-
end
Like I
is
see on TV.
is when they would decide, are you going to be a registered
So what are my
sex
charges? What
offender?
are they called?
So you're going to be charged with unlawful sexual activity with a minor, okay? You're going to be charged with the authoritative figure because you were in an authoritative figure role as a coach at the school. You're also going to be charged with travel to meet a minor for sex on the,
Oh, that's going to be on mugshot?
it's going to be listed on your charges, yes.
That
sir.
was so much. Wow.
And then
That's-
misuse of the two-way communication device to facilitate a felony.
Gotcha.
You know,
Oh, so this is a felony.
they're all felonies.
They're all. Damn, y'all might lose my job. Well, I mean, I ain't like I'm not gonna work. Like she's my mother's daughter. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, just based off of everything that we have, everything we have in the phone, the statements, the conduct
Yeah, that's
and activity with each other, it's, so that's where we are. Okay.
yeah. I think for being so nice and like talking to me.
Yeah. I mean, I treat everyone as if, and anything can happen with anyone, things happen. You're right.
Yeah.
So, it's not my job. I've never been the mean cop. I'm not that person.
Yeah, like I don't
never
want to
have
like
been.
I've never been in a situation. I've never
Yeah.
been detained for nothing.
Yeah. No, and like I said, I really appreciate,
That before? Okay. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no, it's good. I appreciate you and, your honesty, and it's a tough spot, and I get that, And of course, you could have not been as pleasant to deal with as
Yes,
you are. That's
That's
something
what they
you
told me
supposed
on
to
the
do.
ride here. Like, man, this don't even. When they came, I was. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, compliant, and that goes a long way. So,
I just gotta have to talk to the guy. Guess well, I'm gonna go get everything's gonna take place and transfer and.
yes, yep, we'll get you transported to the jail. They'll book you in, and
Does
then
that happen now, or do I have to stay here for hours?
no. I'm gonna go work on. I gotta get a first paperwork done, and then I'll bring the rest of it to the jail later. That way, there's no delay and you're having to hang out.
Okay.
Okay. While you're in booking, you'll have access to the phones for free. So that's when you can call mom. Or,
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Being with her, area code is out of county. How do I call her?
It should be. I think it's the same as at the jail. I think even though it's long distance, you should still be able to have a free call.
Oh, I just one call.
Oh no! As long as you're in booking, as the phones are open.
Oh, it's
you
me
can
that can
use
go.
them.
So I can just hit one and then down her number.
I believe so, but that's gonna be.
Because,
I don't know how
she
the
don't-
phone works in
me
the
neither.
jail,
I
so
don't know.
yeah, it's probably on the wall or something over there. So, but then once they move you back to a pod where you'll stay for the night, then you'll either have to have money on your what they call a canteen or
I don't
let somebody use something. So.
But that's what the night, like, I need to call.
Right, like over, yeah, because once you go back into the back, then you'll have to have money to call out, unless someone lets you use their stuff, so.
How I get money?
Your mom could have to figure out how to get it onto the account. But, it's up to you. You might want to wait and see what your bond's going to be in the
Yeah,
morning, how
now-
quick mom can get that going.
I have a question. How would I find out what my bond will be?
It's going to depend on the judge. I'm going to be honest with you. The judges are not very lenient
With this
with
situation,
these types
I
of
already know
cases.
because I wouldn't need to be.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, so for instance, if the bond is say 150,000, that's not 150,000 they have to pay. They have
No,
to
you
pay,
have to have 10%,
which is
like 15,000 up front, and then you'd have to have
1,500,
collateral.
15,000.
15,000.
At this point, Ford is beginning to see that his reality is now haunted by his awful past, and there's no outrunning what was about to hit him.
In this situation, what will a bond be?
It ranges. It just depends. Sometimes it's 65,000. Sometimes it's a little bit lower.
Okay, so 65,000 would be 5,000.
65, 10% of 60. Make me do math.
I don't.
That's why I'm a cop. All like 6,500, something like that. So, yeah, 10%, and then there has to be that collateral to cover the rest. So.
Oh, for like she has to give them something.
Yeah, she'll have to put some type of collateral, whether it's a car or a house, something that way. If you let,
Oh, so like
if you were to skip out on your
they
bond,
would seize that.
right? Yeah, then the bond can come back and take that collateral.
But I still have to.
Yeah, you still have to face. You gotta face what it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how this happened, but we're here now. Like I said, just gotta put in
Yeah.
first offense, and this is what it is. I would rather be having a dope charge.
Yeah. And kids, no. Yeah. Yeah. Not a fun thing. I'll tell you.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Miss. Let me get that paperwork done,
Thank you
so we
so-
can get you out of here.
thank
Okay?
you so much.
Yes, sir.
Following his interview with Ocala police, James Edward Ford III's situation collapsed fast and ended in a prison sentence by March 2026. He had initially been booked on 4 felony counts, but as the case moved forward, prosecutors dropped the communication-related charges, and he entered a no-contest plea to 3. Unlawful activity with the youngster, offenses against a student by an authority figure, and traveling to meet a person under the legal age of consent for unlawful intimate activity. Back in January 2025, Judge Barbara Kistner-Kwiatkowski had set his bond at $35,000 and assigned him a public defender. And although he was released with strict conditions, no contact with witnesses or juveniles except his own son, the walls kept closing in. By March the 25th, 2026, the sentence came down. 10 years in prison, mandatory registration as an offender, and the permanent loss of his education certificate. And the deeper the case went, the worse it got. Evidence showed that he had given the student money and told her to delete messages to cover his tracks, while his earlier excuse that the texts were just song lyrics quickly fell apart under pressure. At the same time, the school district had already moved without hesitation, cutting ties immediately and banning him from all campus grounds, making it clear that both the law and his profession were done with him. This video reflects information available at the time of production. While every effort was made to ensure accuracy, some details may have been limited, evolving, or subject to change as new developments emerged.